Disclaimer before we continue. This is not about that Christian musical bullshit. I don't know anything about it. I know that there's something called Rock of Ages, and apparently it's like a Christian musical. So, if you're looking for a review on that, I'm sorry, you're in the wrong fucking place. Whoever thought of this game probably watched too much Monty Python. I mean, to the most ludicrous level that the brain turned to a mush of British jokes, playful art direction, and interesting premises. I doubt he's invited to community cookouts, though. The good news is that he found a surrogate family in the video game community, and Rock of Ages is a perfect example of how to make these factors work. While the game really doesn't offer anything really new into the world, it offers a unique storyline and art direction. Despite the minor pitfalls that scurry around in the game, this is a bargain game well worth the money. And I believe it's on both Xbox 360 Arcade and PlayStation 3 Home. The story, you basically play Sisyphus, who is trying for some reason to break through the artistic barriers with his buddy Boulder. Now, I looked into research and all that, and he's apparently like this king that was sent to Hades, and he had to, for eternity, pull up a boulder and all that blah blah blah, and he eventually escapes Hades in the first level, and he literally plows through any opposition that comes forth. The challenger is normally someone of importance at the time period, and we have art from them, and this consists of everyone from King Leonidas to Leonardo da Vinci. And as each art period passes, the challenges grow harder, but each victory is rewarding and urges you to continue on. Even though some of these levels ultimately feel a little repetitive, it is well worth the money. Graphic wise, someone put a lot of time into designing this game, especially on a budget. While not be on par on some of the big budget games, the developers totally back up their game with wit and general charm. Each layout is beautiful and makes you respect art just a little bit more, even if it's in a humorous light. The Boulder buddies are solid and great looking. The big stupid faces on them just add a highbrow wit that drives the game. This game is extremely colorful with an established tone, and it goes extremely well. Sound-wise, aside from the occasional seldom line, not much can be said about the dialogue. Most of it's grunts, roars, and so forth. Musically, however, is another story. Classical music blares beautifully alongside the tone of each art period, and each one is represented really well with the musical styles, making this game so much more interesting. I literally want the soundtrack. I wish they would make the soundtrack for it. The difficulty of it is not really that difficult. Once you get a hang of it, you'll be able to take care of everything. You'll eventually beat the game. There isn't much difficulty maintaining the boulder and such, however, maintaining the battlefield, because they have a strategy element to it. At the beginning it was a little confusing, and I was lost on what side I was on when I was placing these things. However, when you were placing cows and catapults and you have a strategy, they do work to your advantage. However, not all the time does it feel like they're actually doing anything, stopping your enemy's boulder. But I've never gotten a perfect score on a level, because of these things sometimes just hesitate and they just don't work. But overall, I mean, they do probably block some things, but not to the best of the ability as I was expecting. Controls are pretty simple. Nothing actually was so difficult, and I was surprised to see that the boulder even functioned as fluidly as it does. I was really worried that this was going to be like a Halo driving thing, but other than the moving rock, nothing really else is there to move. The building such defenses are pretty simple, and if you played any of these types of strategy games where you place something in the way, you'll be able to get a hang of it. Overall, I can't complain. Rock of Ages was a fun game, and $10 is really worth the buy. While some confusion over the defense simulation and underpowered defenses in general, this game is a witty, unique, and happy, really happy game. And when was the last time you really played a overall happy game? And it's fun. And if you have multiplayer, if you have friends to play on Xbox Live. It's a fun game to challenge your friends with, and you can't beat the wit in the cutscenes, so it's definitely worth the buy.